More developing news coming after the attacks that we saw launched against Israel today from Iran. I'm going to give you the latest as we are hearing that there will be some severe retaliations coming. This coming from the United States and Israel, saying Iran will be attacked. Take a look at some of the headlines coming out. The White House, the United States, vows there will be, quote, severe consequences after a, quote, defeated and ineffective Iran attack on Israel. But they won't say what is going to be unfolding here. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you the details that are coming out on this, what they are saying as the United States and Israel is saying, prepare for retaliation. And some sources are saying this literally could be coming out today. They're saying that tonight in Israel, we might see retaliation for what has unfolded. I'm going to share with you this, and also take a look at the live feeds coming out. Now, this just recently changed on me. It says Netanyahu says that Iran made a, quote, big mistake with the missile attack, and they will pay for it. Now, this had previously said that the Biden administration said that they were working with Netanyahu and Israel to have a response that will be a retaliation for what Iran has done, but it is now updated. This is the live feed. I'm going to be sharing with you what's coming out, and take a look at this as well. We received this from Israel's defense minister, and I'm going to share with you exactly what he said, so that way you can see it for yourself. Now, I actually did not have an English translation for this, so I had to do a Google Translate for you, so that way you can go ahead and know exactly what he is saying. As you're saying, there's going to be consequences and responses. They're currently doing a situation review as to what unfolded, and I'm going to share with you everything that is going on, the latest updates coming out today at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, today, October the 1st, 2024, as we are hearing that those retaliatory strikes from Iran unfolded, and we are now hearing that things are going to be escalating. The United States and Israel will be responding. So I'm going to dive right in, get you caught up on the latest, and a lot of people are saying that this is the beginnings of World War III. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, but let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, if you appreciate the updates, do me a quick favor before I dive in. Take a second, please hit that like button for me. Just takes a second, spreads this out further so more people can get the latest information. Also, don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. I'm keeping you up to speed on everything. And also, in addition to that, all of these articles, the news updates, everything that I pull, I cite it just like a book report. I link it in the description so that way you can see it for yourself. Try to hold myself accountable to the community so that way you know that it is the latest information and you see all the sources from which I am getting everything. Also, additional resources for you and your family linked down below if you're looking to get EMP-proof fabric materials to protect your electronic devices should there be an EMP hit. If you want to get additional batteries, flashlights, gas containers, paper maps, anything that you can think of to help prepare for what potentially could be unfolding here, as we are seeing major warnings across the board. Those resources are linked in the description below for you as well. But let's go ahead and dive right in. I see Angel Lawrence saying, Steve, Ram, we are in World War III right now. I see Jimmy the Kid. And Jimmy, thank you for supporting the channel. I see that star next to your name, hitting that join button, becoming a member of the community with those monthly contributions. Thank you so much for that. I see that he is saying World War III as well. A lot of people saying we are already in it. And if you believe so, drop a 3 in the comments for World War III. Now, if you think no, don't blow things out of proportion. We are not there yet. There's still a chance to de-escalate. Drop a 4. But while you're dropping those 3s and 4s, don't forget, take a second, hit that like button for me, subscribe to stay up to date, and let's go ahead and get you caught up on this. So let's go ahead and take a look at this article coming out. Well, actually, first, let me go ahead and do this translation. I spent some time doing this translation for you, so let me go ahead and bust this out so that way you can see what it was that they had to say. So this coming out today, and let me go ahead and do the translation, as they had said that there will be severe consequences for what unfolded. Now, the translation from Hebrew to English, and I literally didn't find this anywhere, like no one was translating it, so I had to take time to do Google Translate on it. He said, "Good evening. At this point, we do not detect any further threats from Iran in Israel's airspace. You can come out of your sheltered areas. but you must continue to comply with the instructions of the Homefront Command. I would like to ask you to continue to behave responsibly and to be alert. During our defense, we had quite a few interceptions that are a few hits in the center of Israel. So we had quite a few interceptions of the missiles. There are a few hits in the center of Israel. And in a few places in the southern region, we are still doing a situation estimate. We don't know of anyone who's been injured. And that is thanks to your behavior, to your responsible behavior. And we also ask you not to give information to the enemy and not to pass any locations or documentation from places that were impacted. So they're saying the places that we're going to be divulging that were impacted, please do not share. He said, we are both on the defense and on the offense. We are going to protect the citizens of Israel. There will be implications to these launches, and we will retaliate whenever and wherever we choose to do so. I will be here later this evening in order to inform you on any developments. Please continue to be responsible. Questions. And this coming out from YLN News. Can we expect any further launches? And he says, like I told you, I come here after situation estimate with the Chief of the General Staff. We've been updated by the Air Force, by our partners from the United States, as well as at this point, we do not detect any further threats from Israel's airspace. And this is why we gave the instructions to leave sheltered areas. And we continue to monitor the situation. And if any changes in the instructions occur, we will update you. Channel 12 says, will the IDF respond soon? Like I said, he said, we have plans. We are very strongly prepared on the offensive, and we are going to hold a situation estimate, and we are going to act whenever and wherever we choose to. Several other questions were asked, but they started to get repetitive, and I started getting tired of translating because it was basically the same stuff. He did not give too much more information on that, just that they don't believe that there was too much damage done. They said that they believe that there was one loss of life. Turned out it was actually someone from, I think it was a Palestinian from Gaza, if I remember correctly, and they said it was shrapnel that fell. So the vast majority of these that hit did not hit their intended targets. They fell into open space. Israel is saying the areas that were hit, they're doing a reconnaissance of everything that took place, and they're going to keep people updated at this time. They are, and the United States, assessing the response that is going to be coming, and they're saying that it is going to be coming. Angel Lawrence, thank you for the $2 super chat. Says, pray for Israel. Amen to that. Please put praying hands if you're going to be praying for this situation. So that is my translation for you guys, coming directly from Israel with that translation. Now let's go ahead and get you caught up on what is going on here. And let's take a look at this article coming out. Now this one coming out from the New York Post says the White House vows severe consequences. So the U.S. saying there will be severe consequences after defeated and ineffective Iran attack on Israel, but won't say what exactly it is. Now this coming out at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so coming out just a little bit over an hour ago. And the article says, the White House promised Tuesday that Iran would face, quote, severe consequences for its ballistic missile attacks against Israel on Tuesday, but refused to detail what those might be. The U.S. helped Israel successfully counter the roughly 180 missiles that Tehran lobbed at the Jewish state, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan told reporters, as the Pentagon noted that the American destroyer USS Cole and USS Bulkley launched about a dozen interceptors at Iranian projectiles. This attack appeared to have been defeated and ineffective, Sullivan emphasized. We are proud of the action that we've taken alongside Israel to protect and defend Israel, he went on to say. We have made clear that there will be consequences, severe consequences for this attack, and we will work with Israel to make that the case. Sullivan added that Tuesday's attack was a, quote, significant escalation by Iran, a significant event, and it is equally significant that we were able to step up with Israel. It also says, as of Tuesday afternoon, Eastern Time, Israeli officials had attributed one loss of life of a Palestinian in the West Bank city of Jericho and 2 injuries to the barrage. And they were saying this was shrapnel falling, as the vast majority of the missiles that were destined to hit their targets were intercepted and fell apart. We are now going to look at what the appropriate next steps are to secure, first and foremost, American interests, and then to promote stability to the maximum extent possible, said Sullivan, who demurred when pressed about the next steps and what they might be. So they're not giving us the specific details, but they're saying there will be a response, and Israel saying they messed up. I'm going to share that with you here in just a second. We've had some initial discussions with the Israelis in the aftermath of this at the military level and also at the White House Prime Minister's office levels, he said. We'll continue those conversations in those hours ahead. At the State Department, spokesperson Matthew Miller said that the Harris-Biden administration would coordinate with Israel on what any response might be. And you see some of the signs, some of the things that were taking place around the world. There must be consequences for Iran for this attack. We've made clear that there must be consequences, he said. I'm not going to get into what those consequences are today, but there are things on which we will be coordinating with our Israeli counterparts. Reports indicated on Tuesday that Israel plans to launch powerful airstrikes throughout the Middle East in a response to the Iranian attack. So there is going to be a response. They're saying Israel is not going to just let this slide. They will be hitting back Iran. And we're hearing the United States is saying they are right there with them. Now, let's take a look at the live feeds that have been updated here and see what is coming out. Now, this just updated 2 minutes ago, and it says here, Netanyahu says Iran made a big mistake with missile attacks and will pay for it. Let's see here, the live feed coming out. Bennett, now the time for Israel to destroy Iran's nuclear program. So just clarification on this, we are hearing what are the primary things that Israel is likely going to be hitting Iran with? Well, we have heard that there are 2 things that they will be focusing on, and those 2 things are oil and nuclear facilities. So right now, there are reports coming out that all over Tehran, all over Iran, that people are stocking up in gas. There are lines at the gas stations because they are concerned about what's going to be coming, because they are saying they're likely going to be hitting them where it hurts, and that is in the oil and in the nuclear facilities for Iran. So that is what we are hearing. So Bennett says now is the time for Israel to destroy Iran's nuclear program. With emphasis added, the former Prime Minister Naftali Bennett calls for Israel to act now against Iran's nuclear program, saying the Islamic Republic made a terrible mistake with its major missile attack this evening. Israel has now its greatest opportunity in 50 years to change the face of the Middle East, Bennett wrote in an English language post on X. We must act now to destroy Iran's nuclear program, its central energy facilities, and to fatally cripple the terrorist regime. We must remove this terrorist threat to our children's future, he continues, while saying that striking Iran could allow, quote, the Iranian people an opportunity to rise up and shake off the regime that tyrannizes its women and daughters. We have the justification. We have the tools. Now that Hezbollah and Hamas are paralyzed, Iran stands exposed. There are times when history knocks at the door, and we must open it, he concluded. This opportunity must not be missed, he wrote in that X post. You can see it right there. Now, 10 minutes ago, Iran threatens a powerful attack against direct military intervention in support of Israel. Iran's armed forces warned against any direct military intervention in support of Israel in response to Iran's missile attack. In the event of a direct intervention by countries supporting the regime of Israel, their centers and interests in the region will also face a powerful attack by the armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran, the armed force said in a statement quoted by Fars news agency. Make no mistake, that is directed towards the United States. We are the ones that support Israel, and they are essentially threatening the United States. Some schools were severely damaged. Netanyahu says Iran made a big mistake with the missile attack and will pay for it. This coming out 30 minutes ago. Benjamin Netanyahu letting them know Friday as well. In that speech to the UN, Iran made a big mistake tonight, says the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the opening of the Security Cabinet meeting in Jerusalem shortly after an Iranian missile attack, and it will pay for it. The strike on Israel earlier this evening failed, he said. It was thwarted thanks to Israel's air defense systems, which is the most advanced in the world, said the Prime Minister, thanking the United States for its support as well. The regime in Iran does not understand our determination to defend ourselves and our determination to retaliate against our enemies, said Netanyahu. Hamas's leader, Yahya Sinwar, and top Hamas military commander Mohammed Yef did not understand this. Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah and Hezbollah chief of staff Fouad Shukr did not understand this, and there are probably those in Tehran who do not understand this. They will understand, he threatens, stressing, whoever attacks us, we will attack them. He says that this is the case wherever Israel fights the axis of evil, in the West Bank, Gaza, Lebanon, Yemen, Syria, and Iran. Netanyahu calls for the forces of light in the world to unite against Tehran. They must stand by Israel. The choice has never been clearer between tyranny and freedom, between blessings and curses. Israel is on the move, and the axis of evil is retreating, Netanyahu insists. We will do everything necessary to continue this trend, to achieve all the goals of war, primarily the return of all of our hostages, and to ensure the existence, our existence and our future. IDF troops located several weapons in the area. IDF spokesperson says Israel will respond wherever and whenever and however we choose to Iran. And this is the message that I had translated for you. We can see how accurate mine was. An English language statement, IDF spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari says that Israel will choose how and when to respond to tonight's Iranian attack. Hagari said that there were a small number of hits in the center of Israel and other hits in southern Israel from the 180 ballistic missiles fired at Israel. The majority of the incoming missiles were intercepted by Israel and a defense coalition led by the United States. He says the attack is, quote, severe and dangerous escalation. There will be consequences. Our defenses and offensive capabilities are at the highest levels of readiness. Our operational plans are ready. We will respond wherever, whenever, and however we choose in accordance with the directive of the government of Israel. A military spokesperson told AFP that the attack aimed to assassinate thousands of Israeli civilians was unprecedented. The intention to end the lives of civilians is unprecedented. The goal of Iran was to end the lives of thousands of civilians, the spokesperson said. I didn't feel like I read that in my translation, so I think that I might have failed. But I'm glad that we had that one right there that updated us. Biden says that the U.S. in active discussions with Israel over the response to Iranian attack. This coming out 50 minutes ago. This was the headline that I had seen, as they're saying the United States is working directly with Israel, discussing the retaliation, as Israel is vowing that there will be an attack, a retaliation coming. And you heard just a second ago that Netanyahu said that they made a mistake. They messed up attacking Israel today. U.S. President Joe Biden says there is a, quote, active discussion ongoing over how he would like Israel to respond to the Iranian ballistic missile attack, and that the consequences for Tehran remain to be unseen. At my direction, the United States military actively supported the defense of Israel. We're still assessing the impact, but based on what we know, the attack appears to have been defeated and ineffective, Biden said in remarks to reporters at the White House. This is testament to Israeli military capabilities and also a testament to intensive planning between the United States and Israel to anticipate and defend against brazen attacks, Biden said. Make no mistake, the United States is fully supportive of Israel, he added. 1 hour ago. Now, Iran claims that 90% of its missiles hit their targets in Israel. Iran's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard says 90% of its missiles it launched against Israel hit their targets successfully. The statement broadcasted on the state TV claimed that the attack targeted air and radar bases as well as security apparatus that planned the assassination of senior Hamas and Hezbollah figures. It says Iran has rights to defend itself under international regulations. The TV station shows footage of missiles being launched in the darkness from unidentified locations in Iran. Now, despite the hundreds of missiles, the only... Oh, where did my article go? Here we go. Despite hundreds of missiles, the only injuries in Israel were 2 people. Let's see here. Despite the hundreds of missiles, the only injuries in Israel were two people who were lightly wounded by shrapnel in Tel Aviv. A Palestinian man lost his life by shrapnel near Jericho. A number of impact sites have been identified across Israel, with images of missile fragments circulating on social media. The exact locations of such impacts and damage are barred from publication by the IDF censor. So they don't want people to know exactly where the locations are. They are saying that they are currently in offensive and defensive mode. Now, EU condemns the Iranian attack on Israel, calls for an immediate ceasefire across the region. That, I can tell you, is not going to happen. The United States and Israel are planning their response. Coming out at 11 p.m., Gallant and Austin spoke shortly after the Iranian attack, says the Pentagon. So they are planning those next moves. State Department calls on the entire world to condemn Iran's brazen and unacceptable attack. Iranian president hails missile attack a decisive response to Israeli aggression. IDF chief says Israel will choose when to exact the price in response to Iran's attack. Pentagon U.S. Navy destroyer fired dozens of interceptors against Iranian missiles. We're hearing the United States right there with Israel intercepting those missiles that were aimed at Israel. Video of social media apparently shows cars in long lines for gas in Iran. As I mentioned, we're hearing they are coming for the gas or for the nuclear facilities. U.S.'s Sullivan says there will be severe consequences for Iran's attack. We will work with Israel to make that the case. So make no mistake, the United States is saying this will be exacted with a response with severe consequences. Iran's supreme leader threatens stronger and more painful attack on Israel. After firing 180 ballistic missiles on Israel, Iranian supreme leader Ali Khamenei tweets an illustration of a large underground weapons cache, warning that victory for Tehran is near. Wow. So they're saying that more attacks are coming. In a call with Netanyahu, Starmer expresses UK's steadfast commitment to Israel's security. And Iran says it did not give U.S. prior notice of ballistic missile attacks on Israel. So, man, there are going to be additional responses and attacks that are going to be unfolding here. We're going to be seeing what comes out of this. And let's see here, the live feed is giving us some more updates. Harris, Iran, a destabilizing, dangerous force in the Middle East. My support for Israel is unwavering. So Kamala Harris comes out, slams the reckless and brazen Iranian missile attack, with further demonstrates that Tehran is a destabilizing, dangerous force in the Middle East. So she came out with this 5 minutes ago. In a statement to reporters, Harris says she backs U.S. President Joe Biden's decision to order U.S. military personnel to shoot down Iranian missiles targeting Israel, as he did in April. Early indications suggest that Israel, with our assistance, was able to defeat this attack, Harris says, noting that the country's joint defenses helped save many innocent lives. I will always ensure Israel has the ability to defend itself against Iran and Iran-backed terrorist militias. My commitment to the security of Israel is unwavering, she continued. Iran is not only a threat to Israel, Iran is also a threat to American personnel in the region, American interests, and innocent civilians across the region who suffer at the hands of Iran-based and backed terrorist proxies. We will never hesitate to take whatever action is necessary to defend U.S. forces and interests against Iran and Iran-backed terrorists, and we will continue to work with our allies and our partners to disrupt Iran's aggressive behavior and to hold them accountable, she said. Homefront Command eases restrictions following Iranian missile attack. The IDF Homefront Command announces that it is easing restrictions in the central Israel, Jerusalem area and some parts of the northern following the Iranian missile attack. I actually shared that with you in that translation, that video footage, so we actually got this out before the times of Israel. And IDF calls on civilians to clear away from 2 buildings in Hezbollah Beirut strongholds. So you guys, and that is all of the updates that we have. It looks like there is going to be some severe responses that are going to be coming out here. We are hearing that the United States and Israel will be retaliating, and they are saying there will be severe consequences for Iran's attack today. And make no mistake, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. October 1st, 2024. things are ramping up. And like I said, these articles are going to be linked in the description below for you. And man, it is just ramping up. A lot of things taking place. Now, in addition to that, I also let you guys know we heard from Russia earlier today, who warned Israel, get out of Lebanon. The United States is also telling Israel to do a ceasefire. Israel saying, no, we need to get our hostages out. We need to eradicate this threat. It is for our future children. There has been no ceasefire agreement that has come to these terms. So we are going to take it upon ourselves to not listen to anybody else and make sure that we take care of ourselves and get rid of this threat. Now, let me know in the comments if you agree with Israel's approach, that they're going to push forward, they're going to wipe out these terrorist groups and deal with what they call the head of the snake, Iran. Put a 1 in the comments if you agree with Israel. If you think, no, we need a ceasefire now, we need peace, and all these calls that are coming out, despite the fact that Israel feels like they have still not gotten their hostages or secured their regional border areas, put a 2. So 1, if you feel like let Israel wipe out the terrorists. Put a 2 if you feel like, no, we need a ceasefire now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But we're hearing that after what unfolded today, there are a lot of people that are coming out and saying Israel has the right to defend itself now. This might have shifted things in the favor of Israel, and Israel saying there will be retaliation for what has unfolded. We will be hitting Iran, and the United States, and a lot of reports coming out saying that Iran's attack on Israel today, it was defeated. It was unsuccessful. But the fact that they did this, Israel is saying there will be a response, and they will do it whenever, wherever, and however they feel necessary. So the threats, the warnings have been issued. The United States and Israel are preparing for attacks and responses against Iran. So this is only going to be ramping up. We're going to be seeing where it goes from here. Because they're saying, and we're hearing, that there could be responses here as soon as tonight. But we're not sure. I will keep you up to date every step of the way, though, so that way you know exactly what is going on. Now, do me a favor if you appreciate that. I see we've got 2,756 people with me live. Please take a second, hit that like button for me. If we could get half of the room to hit the like button, helps spread this out further so more people can get the updates. Also, subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? I'll keep you up to speed on everything so you know exactly what is taking place. And as always, I cite all the sources, link them in the description. Try to put them on the screen so that way you can see that it is the latest. Try to hold myself accountable to my community. Cite everything like a book report so you can see it for yourself. And again, if you appreciate that, hit the like button. Also, additional resources linked down below. And you guys, more is coming. More is coming for sure. We're going to see a retaliation from Israel against Iran, and now it is no longer just these proxy groups. It is nation against nation, and Russia helping Iran, the United States helping Israel. We are seeing sides being drawn, and we will see where it goes from here. I heard a lot of people say today, and I'm actually seeing it trending all over the news, World War III. World War III is trending once again, but they're saying that we are very close now. In October, a lot of people said we were going to have what they're calling a Red October. Well, it's October 1st, and it sure is shaping up to be that way. We are just a little over a month away from elections, you guys, and things are ramping up. So I will keep you guys up to date on everything. But that is the latest. Thank you so much for joining me. And also, let me know in the comments very quickly, though, before I sign off, I got one quick question for you. Are you planning on watching the vice presidential debates tonight? If you're planning on watching them, put yes in the comments. If not, put no. I was thinking about doing a live stream and watching it with everybody. I want to see if you would watch it with me or if you're just not interested, really, and more interested maybe in the presidential debates. So if you're going to watch it tonight, put a yes. If not, put a no. Curious to see what people think. And again, while you're putting those yeses and nos, take a second, drop a like for me. Looks like it's split. I'm seeing some yeses, some nos. So I'll see. I might hop on a little bit early tonight and get things ready. Maybe we'll do a live for those that want to watch the vice presidential debates with me. We can go ahead and see what J.D. Vance and Tim Walz have to say and how those debates go. So yeah, but you guys, that is the latest. thank you so much for joining me. I will keep you up to speed on everything. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.